like to introduce someone who needs no introduction, Aaron Fleming. Come right here.
I'm Aaron Fleming. I go to church here, in case we haven't met. David asked me to speak and tell a little bit of my story, and I'm going to put a timer on so I don't talk too long. So I have to get right to the point. I am transgender, which means that I used to be a woman. And a lot of people here know that, and some people don't. And some people find out, and they're like, what? Really? Or some people find out and their response is, oh, I just thought you were gay. But in preparing for what I was going to say today, I was really surprised at some of the things that I wrote down. And the biggest thing that I wanted to convey was that I'm so different now than I was 18 years ago when I started talking about transitioning. And the biggest thing is that, there's so many things that it's hard to sum up, but the biggest thing is that I feel like such a sense of connection now to the world. And although that sounds like a cliche, those are the stories you hear, is that, oh, I used to feel this way and now I feel this way, and after I've come out, and but it's the truth. And the thing is that before being able to tell about myself and who I was, I didn't have any space in my mind to think about other people. And so that meant, because I couldn't even there was no space to think any positive thoughts, really. Because I really thought that I couldn't understand how other people in the world were living, honestly. I couldn't understand how any people could feel comfortable here on planet Earth. So therefore, I was only thinking negative things because I thought everyone was lying. Wow. Yeah, everyone was lying, and so I was only thinking negative things, so I couldn't feel there was no space to feel positive thoughts. So therefore, I could never really have thought about, well, what is my faith journey? I couldn't have thought those things. And so then I started telling one person, and thankfully their response was positive, and it cut my fear in half, like that day. And so then I just went with that, and I started trusting another person, and I wasn't thinking so many negative thoughts. I could actually see how other people wanted to be here on the earth. And somewhere in there, my faith, there was room for it to grow. And now it is clear to me that we need each other. We need community, we need connections with other people in order to cultivate a sense of God, a sense of purpose, a sense for why are we here? What is my purpose? What do I want to do? How do I want to give back? And without being able to say, this is who I am, this is me, I feel like a man, this is the body that I want now, without being able to do that, it doesn't work. There's no space in my heart for God. And honestly, I still have a hard time with church, because somewhere as a young person, I connected, especially Christianity, with bigotry. And still that connection, though it's weaker now, it's still there. And I can tell that people say the word Jesus in church or anywhere, and there's a little equation going on in my head, which is there's my timer, which is it doesn't work for, or you all people, Jesus people, and I'm still working on that. And so I'm really grateful for Clifton and this community that is here, because I've been able to, in a sense, rewrite my future. And it's given me a place where I can have a family that can come, and we have 2 small children, and my kids can come and they hear a different message than I heard when I was younger, which is, it's very different. And and that message continues to encourage me to think differently, to connect with people who are different than myself, and to take risks. So I'm really glad, and I'm glad to I'm really glad to want to live, frankly. So I'm glad, and in some ways I wish now I could tell my younger self, don't waste so much time being so negative. But, you know, what can you do? So my time is up. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.